Whenever you see a vehicle on the road with an internal combustion engine, just remember that it runs on plants from hundreds of millions of years ago. Let me explain. Most of the fossil fuel material we use today come from algae, bacteria, and plants dating back 300 to 400 million years ago. Now, these fossil fuels contain carbon and were formed due to the algae remains mixing with organic materials and sinking to the seafloor, creating fossil fuels. With the discovery of fossil fuels, there have been many products that were created with it. The products of fossil fuels include petroleum, coal, kerosene, and even fuel oil, among many others. To produce energy with fossil fuels, you would need to burn it. However, there is another source of energy that can also be burned to extract energy from it, and it is called biogas. Unlike fossil fuels, biogas is naturally occurring and is a renewable source of energy. Biogas is created when bacteria digest organic matter or biomass in the absence of oxygen. This process is called anaerobic digestion. Biomass can also be used to harness energy by burning it or by converting it to renewable liquid or other fuels through various processes. Now, let's say you don't want to burn things and you just want to use an energy source that is already hot. Well, look no further. Actually, just look underneath you. That's right, the Earth. Geothermal energy can be harnessed by drawing fluids from underground reservoirs to the surface of the Earth to produce steam, which can then be used to drive turbines to generate electricity. This is actually what geothermal power plants do. Now, let's say you feel that geothermal is just too hot for you and it isn't your cup of tea. Well, water not only can cool you, but also produce energy for you. When water is heated inside the earth, hot water or steam is trapped in porous and fractured rocks beneath a layer of relatively impermeable caprock, which results in the creation of a hydrothermal reservoir. Since hydrothermal resources are considered conventional geothermal resources that can be developed using existing technologies, they can also be used to produce energy in the same way that geothermal energy can. But now, let's say you got fed up with always having to harness energy within the earth and you want to try something else, something cooler. Well, the sun's light can be used to produce energy and you could harness this with a solar cell. When the energy from the sunlight is absorbed by the solar cells, the energy creates electrical charges that move in response to an internal electrical field in the cell, causing electricity to flow. Now, let's say you already are able to harness electrical energy. How can you store it for later use? Well, the answer to that is by using batteries. Batteries accept, store, and release electricity on demand. They form chemical potential to store energy just like many other energy sources. Okay, so you've already taken advantage of these different energy sources and you've harnessed their energies. What about their effects? How do they affect the environment? Well, simply put, when using an energy source that requires burning or anything of the sort, it may release chemicals into the environment, pollute the air, and possibly even contribute to climate change by producing heat and by releasing greenhouse gases. However, there are also other more sustainable ways of harnessing energy without having to burn anything, such as geothermal, hydrothermal, and solar energies, which take advantage of the heat that is already present and the light that is already shining. Now, how can you contribute to reducing our negative impact on the environment? Well, we can do things like riding a bike instead of riding a vehicle that uses an internal combustion engine, taking advantage of solar power, and reducing food waste, among many other things. These are all sacrifices anyone can make to help the environment, but the real question is, what are you willing to sacrifice?